Hey guys, this is Godzilla. I'm stayed home from school today because I have a cold. And now I'm bored, so I figured I'd get to another figure review. This one was requested by Kaijuzilla 2001 a long time ago. It's the Yamakatsu 1962 Godzilla. Sorry I haven't got to that sooner, but I'm just lazy. You probably forgot about it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, this suit appeared in 1962 in King Kong vs. Godzilla. The figure itself was produced in 1983. That's about all the background I can think of that actually matters. So that's why it looks old and kind of not up to par. It's because it's from the early 80s. So without further ado, I'll get on to the review. I'm going to go ahead and get right into articulation. His arms move 360, but it's a little stiff when they get up to here. His legs move 360. Let's try this one too. Yeah, legs move 360. His tail can move 360 as well. So that's it. It's 4 points of 360 articulation. Just gonna say this right now, mine has like a rattle thing inside of one of these legs. It's not like an actual supposed to be a rattle, but it's like this little disc thing that I think was supposed to plug up one of the legs. Excuse me, I'm sick. So that's articulation. Detail. Let's look in the body. It's alright detail. It's not actually that bad. The detail itself is actually pretty standard, except for that it's a little harder. It's not really that hard. It's a sort of hard vinyl, but it is shiny, which makes it less realistic than, let's say, yeah, it makes it less realistic than like a 1954 Godzilla, which is dull and realistic. So that's one downside, but that was just kind of the method of production in the early 80s. Everything was shiny. Let's look at the spines here. It's very interesting detail on the spines. It kind of looks like crumpled up tin foil, and I'm not saying that because they're silver. That's actually what the detail itself reminds me of. So yes, detail, it's definitely unique, but it's not really that different. Let's get to the sculpt. Usually I include sculpt and detail as the same thing. I think I'm going to do them separately now. Sculpt, as you can see, one leg here, the right leg is further back. So he's in sort of a pose, like, yeah, I think just a straight ahead view is the best way you can see it. Use my finger going, oh, actually I'll just show it to you like this. See, this leg is further back, which is okay, it's just not really, it's just kind of weird. His feet are way too short and stubby. They look kind of bad. Also, overall, his feet are just too small. So that doesn't look very good. His legs have these weird little fold things here, which are supposed to be his knees, but they overall just kind of downgrade the figure and make him look like the Michelin Man. The tail comes down and then comes up, and then it kind of goes back down again. Like usually on figures, if the tail's gonna go up, it just goes straight up. This one kind of curves back down, which is cool. The tail is a little bit short, but I'm not too bothered. The thing that does bother me a little bit is how they flattened out the bottom of the tail so it can stand better. It looks okay, but when you're like holding it like this, it doesn't quite look right in person. Oh well. The legs are kind of small. I don't know, something seems off about the legs when it comes to sculpt, like the size. I just can't put my finger on it. It just looks weird. His hips are very large. That's one thing. Like right here. Onto the head. I'm going to talk about the head in a minute. I'm just going to let you look at that for now. That's what the head looks like. That's about it for sculpt. On to paint job. He's a dark, kind of a murky green. Let's see what figures I have that I can compare for color. I say the closest any figure gets to being colorful is like the dark green on Gigan. It's kind of like that. It's just a little bit darker and murkier, kind of like muddy. And in the movie he was black, or I think he was might have been a little bit green, but I always remember him black. So that's one downside. But then again, excuse me, stereotypical Godzilla is usually green, so I can kind of see why they did this, as long as they didn't make him purple. The only other paint, or that's not true, but the spines on the back of this guy are like shiny silver. It's really not that much different. Shiny silver. It has a nice fading away on the head there. Now, my friend Goji Miller Films, his Nathan, go check him out. He has this guy too. And the paint on his head is a lot more like... Let's see if I can block out the light. There's a lot more paint on his head, and it looks like there is on mine too, but that's just reflection. So his has a ton of paint on the top of his head. I don't know which one is more accurate to the like average release, but I'm just gonna assume this one is better. Or I'm just gonna assume this one is how they all were. So the head is okay. The eyes, well, they're painted white with black pupils. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really sloppy paint job on the eyes. Like, look at this, it kind of bleeds into his eyebrow thing here. Over here is kind of weird up in the corner. What else? Inside the mouth. Oh, his teeth are not individually sculpted, but they are painted white. The inside of his mouth is kind of like a orangey red almost. It's not too bad, it just looks a little weird. Like, in contrast to the green, it's strange. But I do think it overall pretty much fits. Size comparisons, I'm going to compare him with first the Bandai Pink Tag at 1954 Godzilla. Let's see. 54 Godzilla is a smidge taller, like half a centimeter. Let's get out the... Here, let's put him back here. let's get out 1954, Bandai Creations. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. 1968, Bandai Creation, Godzilla. Now, this guy's out of scale anyway, so I don't even know I'm using him. Probably because they're both Showa Godzillas. But he is about... If you guys don't mind, I'm going to take him out of camera view for just 1 second. Okay. The 68 Godzilla is just about half an inch taller. Which is not to scale. They should be the exact same size if they wanted to be in scale. I'd say this is a lot better and overall could work if you wanted to make them fight with like actual size accuracy. This, it really should be like this though if you wanted them to be the same size, or if you wanted them to be size accurate. So it's this guy's fault because he's not size accurate to anything. Right here. Last but not least, I have the pink tag, the Bandai pink tag, 93 Godzilla. Same story as 54. He's about half a centimeter taller. This, however, is not to scale, but that is not a problem at all. It's just that this incarnation of Godzilla is twice as tall, so he's more like this big. That's not a problem at all, though, because these guys are made to be 6 inches tall. They're not supposed to be in scale. So, that I'm not going to deduct points for size accuracy. Size comparing is overall good. It fits in well with a 6-inch scale figure. So, there's that. Movie accuracy. Alright, here's probably the thing about this figure you guys have been waiting for. This looks nothing like 1962 Godzilla. It looks nothing like it. It doesn't really even look that much like Godzilla. It looks like a weasel. Just take out the spines, it's a weasel or something. It's so weird. My gosh. I know it was produced in 1983, and I'm going to give it a bit of, what do I want to say? I'm going to be understanding of the fact that it was made in 1983, but it still just looks nothing like Godzilla 1962. It's more of a stereotypical kind of Godzilla. It's definitely going to get points lost for that. As far as the body goes, it doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't really scream 1962 at me. But whatever. This, I don't know. Movie accuracy is awful. So, if this figure, overall thoughts here, if this figure were made in like modern day with modern technology and it looked exactly like this, everyone would hate it. Because look at that. But because this was made in 1983, we have to be a little bit more understanding. This is probably the best they could do. I think Bandai was just one step ahead of them. But that's okay, because it's still kind of a cool figure. Although I'm still kind of trying to get rid of it. But it's cool to have in the collection. So, rating, I'm going to give this guy 3 out of 5. He's really... Oh, by the way, I'm sorry if you guys can hear a cricket in the background. Or not. Maybe it was going earlier, but crickets... We have crickets right now, so... That's a little annoying. So, yeah, 3 out of 5 for this guy. The main thing that bogs him down is the face. So ugly. Also, like, kind of the bottom jaw looks really weird. It looks too short. I don't know. I don't know. That's gonna conclude this review. If you like this review, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't like this review, please hit the thumbs up button. I'll see you on my next review. I still need to learn how to do a solid conclusion to videos. See you guys later.